中国经济是一片大海，而不是一个小池塘。大海啊，有风平浪静之时，也有疯狂宇宙之时。没有疯狂宇宙，那就不是大海了。狂风骤雨可以掀翻小池塘，但不能掀翻大海。经历了无数次狂风骤雨，大海依旧在哪儿？经历了5000多年的艰难困苦，中国依旧在哪儿？面向未来，中国将永远在这儿。
Now, the video I just showed you, it was a speech that was made by of course, the Chinese president, President Xi Jinping, who said the Chinese economy it's a sea and not a pond. A pond can be overturned by storms, but never a sea. A sea remains there. So this, what he's saying here, obviously, it's a very strong message to also the United States of America to say, look, whatever you throw at us, our economy can take it. It's strong. This is basically what he's saying. I mean, something that apparently also just came from China. China already is threatening to say that all Chinese companies are going to be banned from using products from Chinese-based company or imported products from Chinese-based company. Do you know what this can do to the U.S. market? Do you know how much the U.S. market is generating from China? And if China is saying they could stop all, or it's already threatening to stop companies to use imports from the U.S. companies, this could really change things around for companies like Nio. You all know that under the Biden administration, there were certain chips from NVIDIA that were restricted to be shipped from the United States of America to China to try to slow down the innovation, the tech in China, right? But what did we see? Regardless of China using not so good chips compared to those ones that they were using or getting from NVIDIA like the H100s, they still managed to make stronger technology and much better technology like DeepSeek. They were able to, Nio, our very own, were able to even produce their own autonomous driving chip, which the reason why they went to this is because they realized the kind of threat that comes with, of course, the US being stopped to time again to stop shipping certain chips or stop taking certain chips to China. Chinese companies like Nio are in that position right now where they are building their own chips. They want to build everything in-house, and if they are not getting that in-house, they are getting whatever from their local Chinese suppliers or other Chinese companies. So they are telling companies like Nio to say that they must even take it further and try their best to use local products or make their own, which this, can I tell you what this does? This is going to make EV stocks like Nio to be even much stronger, because the more they produce these things in-house, the more gross margins get to improve. And when gross margins improve, they will be able to, even when they take off their products outside of China, they can be able to handle some of these tariffs because the gross margins of their cars will be already at a good space. So all this that it does to the Chinese companies like Nio, it improves their long-term strategy, or it prepares them for getting their gross margin. It makes them improve their gross margins, which as a result will make them even stronger in the future, which as a result will make their gross margins improve. And when they improve, like I said, they can be able to take some of these hits because obviously they are producing these products, parts they are using onto their cars in-house. Nio has told us that because of that in-house self-developed autonomous driving chip, they are now saving, by them using that in-house developed autonomous driving chip, it saves them $1,380. Just one chip. And if you remember very well the communication that obviously Nio told us sometimes last year, was that per car they are using chips worth $5,000, which you can imagine how much they are spending on buying chips for making those cars. And developing these chips in-house will make them be at a better position, better place. And the good thing about Nio, what the CEO told us just last week, is that this innovation, these chips will be open, or is open to the public. Other new energy vehicle car makers that want to use them, they will be allowed. They can come and buy them from Nio. They can come form partnerships of utilizing these chips, which is something that is just so great. I will say this again. This trade war between the US especially and China, I know there are other countries, but US and China, it can go either way, because in as much as the United States of America feel that they've got everything under control in place, China has got also the cards to play. And this is one of the cards that could really hurt the United States of America's economy. Chinese companies not using exports or not importing parts from the United States of America, this, in as much as in the short term, it does not project good growth, but medium to long term, it's always good. Had it not been that situation where we saw, obviously, or we see China time and again coming and making the chips company stop sending some of the chips to China, they were not going to make EV makers like Nio to be where they are in terms of producing these chips in-house. Autonomous driving chip is not the only chip that Nio produces in-house. There is a laser sensor main controlling chip. There is a chip for their phone. They are already producing some of these chips in-house, which is something that not only will it improve their gross margins, but it will also make it easier for other companies to access these good quality, high performance chips, so that they don't depend that much onto countries outside the borders of China. This will also, like I said, allow them to be able to go and sell their cars easier and absorb some of these tariffs that we get to see from these countries from time to time. I just thought I'd give you these quick updates. Tell me what you think about this. Blue sky is coming. Long term will win. China's economy, it's an ocean, not a pond. And pond overturned with rain or storm, but oceans remains. So this is the message that President Xi Jinping said during a speech. I'll see you on the next one. Like, share, subscribe, and God bless you all.